oil, and I will get the information for you. But surely, as you can see from the cues, it's not enough. And we would like you, as decent professional journalists, to draw the attention of the world that vital services to the population are not being performed because of the fuel shortage. Libyan problem should be solved by Libyans, not by foreign powers. The African governments also made their position very clear through the extraordinary African summit in Addis Ababa some time ago, in which it demanded an immediate halt of hostilities, including NATO aggression against Libya, and for the African map to take place and to be initiated. As for the position, the individual position of some African presidents, some are falling under huge pressure from their foreign colonial powers, like the Senegalese president, who's under major financial pressure from Qatar, and we know this, and major political and military pressure from France. And we know that there is a deal between Senegal and France and Qatar, financial deals and political deals. So his position is not really democratic or moral or for the sake of Libya. He is following his own personal interests. We know that the parties of Senegal, the people of the country are with us. They have been sending us letters and support from Senegal. As for Mauritania, we believe Mauritania can play a positive role in the solving of the Libyan crisis through the high-level Committee of Five. And we call upon the government of Mauritania to allow Libyans, to help Libyans decide the future of the country from within and not from without. I'm going to take the last two questions, 1 and 2. The road to Tunisia is open. Of course, our army is making a heavy checkpoints in the road to secure the lives of people. If 50 or 60 or 100 armed rebels.
Why not let us free to go about our business in the same way that we would conduct ourselves in many, many other conflicts around the world?
Well, this is a wartime. I know very well.
No, I'm talking about in wartime.
Yeah. No. I do not accept. I know, yes. We have discussed.
A minder and locked up in a bus. I mean, today was an absurd day where we went to a ridiculous display by poor children who were put up to sing songs, and then we were shown a hole in the ground, whilst we could have been independently verifying whether or not there was an uprising in Zawiya.
I accept the fact or the idea that the press need as much freedom as possible to report freely. And I have said before, you see, I wish you listen to some of my comments in my press conferences. They are all available on the internet, by the way. I did say before that in Libya, we were leading a process of political change, including more freedom of the local and international press in the country prior to the events that took place in Libya in February. This process was interrupted by the violent rebellion that took place in February. Now, change, including freedom for the press, is an institutional one, not individual one. You need to change the institutions of the country. You need to have laws that define the freedom of the press. You need to have the institutions such as the police force, the army, the armed forces, all of the civilian ministries, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education. You need to have people in the streets understanding the freedom of the press and establishing it. Now, we do not have this in Libya. We have not established this culture, this legal culture yet, this social culture yet. To ask us to now come at a time of war and just let journalists free and not be able to guarantee their security, to guarantee the cooperation of these institutions with them is absurd for me. We need, in Libya, we need to change. Where did you go today? Where did you go to the 4 hours?
They wouldn't even tell. We went to Azizia, and there wasn't even translation. I mean, there was a rally. It's like we couldn't even understand what was being said. We were taken to see a whole this entire time
Okay.
wasted. If you want to tell
Okay.
us that we're not reporting the truth.
Good.
Take us to the place.
Okay. Two things. Two things.
To take the entire international press corps of Libya, some of the most distinguished journalists on the planet, to see a hole in the ground and 30 children
Okay.
singing songs and waving
Okay.
None of the children
I get your point. I absolutely get your point.
makes you look nuts. So when you
I-
say to us, you guys are not reporting this story accurately, funnily enough, it's someone.
No, I don't think. You see, I accept the first part of your speech. Okay, I do not accept. I do not accept. I did not mean it as an insult. I was trying to make you have a smile on your face, but I did not succeed. Listen to me. I accept the first part of your question. I do not accept that it follows that you do not report the truth or you report whatever you wish. No, okay. Then the best thing to do is to say that, for example, you heard that something took place in a zawiya, you were not allowed to go there, or you haven't had the chance to go there, and instead we were taken by a bus. Report what happens. But what I read in many of the reports is some almost wishful thinking. Talk about numbers and battles. It seems that people got their information by phone, maybe, from someone, and they accepted this, and they wrote it down, including journalists who actually had figures of how many people were killed in Zawiya, how many people were captured, and they did not even care to put down their sources. And it seems, of course, to me that it's the usual eyewitness account on the phone, which has been plaguing this conflict from the beginning. So I accept your complaint. I have discussed it before. I said I will try my best to help you move freely. I did not have, by the way, personally, the authority over this until like 2 or 3 days ago. I'm trying to push forward the freedom of the press. But you see, this takes me back to the main question. In Libya, we do believe, including the leader, the government, and the nation, and even the tribes who are armed and waiting to fight any foreign invasion and to fight against the rebels. We all know that we need to change, and the freedom of the press is just an element of the change. We need to have a constitution, we need to have a transparent political system, we need to have the freedom for everyone to decide and be an equal citizen. We need many things in this country, and we agree that we need to do them, and we have been moving forward in the last few years. Yes, maybe the rhythm has been slow, some people complained about it, but Libya, for example, in the year 2000, is not Libya in the year 2010. We are much better in terms of many freedoms. We got interrupted heavily by this armed rebellion that robbed us of our chance to change peacefully from within and gradually. We were robbed of our 3 main opportunities. Now we are being asked to change violently, from without, and suddenly, which is a very bad idea for a society. We will have a total collapse of the society. I studied media in Britain. I got my PhD from the University of London in media. I studied my master degree also in London. I did my first degree in Exeter in Britain. I admire many qualities about the British society. I wanted to help bring the Libyan media forward when I came here a year ago. I found that many people started before me, including Mr. Saif al-Islam Muammar al-Gaddafi and many other young Libyan women and men. They established private newspapers for the first time. They established private TV stations. They were proposing many changes in the laws for the freedom of the press. We were moving forward. Some people were complaining about the rhythm, it was slow, but we were moving forward. Now this armed rebellion is causing a complete disaster in the country. Hatred now is in the heart of the people. Bitterness is in the heart of the people. And we don't know the future of this country. I'm scared for my kid. I'm scared for my brothers, for my sisters, for my neighbors, for my tribe, for my city, for my country. The way these armed rebels went, or the way they chose, is absolutely the wrong way to change. And that is why, by the way, they are not popularly supported. They are really isolated. They are only supported by NATO, only, and by very small groups of people, whether in the East or in the West. So I agree with you. Yes, we do need to have freedom of the press. Unfortunately, I cannot provide it for you now. I'll give you a very simple example I'll finish with. For example, I can't say now, okay, go and move freely. I need to make sure that the taxi driver knows what a foreign journalist is. They don't know. They are not used to it. I need to know that the police officer who will meet you in the street knows what a foreign journalist is and how to respect journalists and how to allow them access. I need the Ministry of Health to understand that. I need everyone to understand that. If I say to you, just go now, I can't guarantee your safety. I can't guarantee the cooperation of the people around, especially with this wartime feelings, with people being anxious. So unfortunately, we have to allow you a limited access. I'm sorry, I'm absolutely exhausted. I answered most of your questions. I thank you very much. I'll meet you tomorrow. As I said, I'll promise I'll have this conference almost daily or whenever we need it. Thank you very much.